Est-ce que ça enregistre là? Ouais.
Ouais.
Yes. Bonjour Gwen.
Bonjour Pierre-Marie.
Well, in English, so for 5 minutes, as proposed, I would like you to present what we are doing with the vaccination of birds in the zoo in Belgium for the colleague of advisory committee and others. So can you sum up the context first in few sentences?
Okay, so first, the context, epidemiological context is that, as you know, there's an unprecedented H5 situation around the world, and there are many outbreaks and cases of domestic and wild animals, including in Belgium. So this zoo, that's the largest zoo in Belgium, which is called Paris Daiza, and they are quite active and quite pioneer in some methods. That's what we heard. And they actually had to put most of their birds indoors, which is problematic already. And they recently lost 7 pelicans, Australian pelicans, out of 11 pelicans they had of these pelicans. And so they were afraid to lose more. And at some point, they would also like to be able to release them outside. They also have 75 African pelicans. So this is a very sensitive species. There have been many mortalities around the world, like recently 20,000 dead pelicans in Peru. And they also have around 250 peacocks. They would also like to vaccinate because these birds also hang around on the park and they are in contact with many other birds. So they started looking for a vaccine. They had a discussion with Scienzano, which is the national reference lab for avian flu. And we have a long-term collaboration with Scienzano on different products. But since a year, they have started working on our H5 self-replicating RNA vaccine, and they obtained wonderful results. So they are very convinced about our vaccine, and they suggested the zoo to use our vaccine. So the zoo went for discussions with also 2 other competitors, and they finally selected our vaccine.
Okay, when was it?
So that was November. We sent them some technical information in early December, and just before Christmas, they sent us an email saying that they select our vaccine. We also presented them the Wildlife Research Fund, and that probably also helped them, make the decision. I think it was also a good argument on the table.
And because in Belgium the regulation is maybe different from France, or it's not a EU regulation for zoo animal. Do they have all the the agreement to do it?
So they have to go through 3 commissions. The main one was the Ethical Commission, which took place mid-January. So we sent them a protocol that we discussed with them early January. So I think in the Ethical Commission, they shared the technical information we had already provided in December and the protocol. They gave me a call because they had a bit of additional questions during the commission, technical information, because we made it clear that it is a very new technology and a new vaccine. And the approval was provided already last week. So my understanding is that this was the most sensitive, most difficult, committee. And so now they are ready to go. And they even wanted to start vaccinating on the 25th of January, which is the day after tomorrow. So we can say that we are more than ready and impatient to start.
Okay, excellent. So all the lights are green. Okay, they're allowed to do it. If we look for so the plan, you say the protocol. So what could be the way to do it?
Okay, so we were very clear on the fact that we don't have a full set of scientific data on the vaccine itself. I mean, we only have partial data even in domestic animals, but so far it's been tested in ducks, in chickens, in geese, and it's shown to be a safe vaccine. And anyway, we think it's going to be a safe vaccine. It is also a multi-species vaccine. So we told them the risk is never zero, but we have quite good trust, good confidence in the vaccine. But despite this, we decided with them to go stepwise. So we'll start with only 10 African pelicans out of the 75, plus 30 peacocks. So they will receive 2 injections intramuscularly, 6 to 7 weeks apart. So this is what we're going to start soon. After the second injection, we will vaccinate, so that will be step 2, the remaining 65 African pelicans and the 3 Australian pelicans, which are the most sensitive. And after this is over, we will vaccinate, they will vaccinate all the peacocks that they have to catch in the park.
As a
So
peacock, peacocks represent mostly they do not die, but they represent an epidemiological risk for the rest of the birds.
Yeah, they rarely die from H5 infection, but with this H5 clade, we don't know. They could also die from it. But yeah, but they are excretors for sure.
And so there will be a monitoring and to try to evaluate the vaccine take, and no challenge, but the duration of immunity. For how long?
So we will. There will be. I don't remember. We put some sampling activities. That's I mean the day of vaccination, and then of the 2 vaccinations, and 4 weeks afterwards, and then 6 months after. We may revaccinate them because we suggest a boost every 6 months, and we will take blood again from the birds.
So it's not every month because it's complicated to catch back the pelicans and
And it's not only complicated, she said it's also risky because they could die during the vaccination operation.
So if we look after the 5 criteria that we have, because we are just close to do it, so to be sure that we have the right evaluation. The first one is strategic alignment.
Yeah, so this is fully aligned with the purpose of Ceva first, because there's a new vaccine, we believe in it, and we believe it can be used in many species. And I guess this is also fully aligned with the purpose of the fund, because basically there's a high need in protecting birds from H5.
Okay. Donc feasibility, you just mentioned with the zoo, so it's okay. They agreed on the protocol and the manipulation of the birds.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention that we also identified some diagnostic tools, which will be some ELISA for H5 and ELISA for NP to check the birds which are infected. So we cannot use indirect ELISA because they don't. I mean, for pelicans they don't work, but for peacocks they are going to work. So we have a set of ELISA and HA serological tools that are going to work.
So the feasibility, so it's a minus 80 degrees vaccines, but we will use and work with Cienzano also.
Yes.
To make the vaccination or to support to have some support locally.
So in terms of partnership, we have the perfect settings because Cienzano, I mean, we have been working with them for many years. They know the vaccine. They are super happy to help and receive a vaccine, prepare the vaccination session with the zoo, and even go there to apply the vaccine and make sure that everything is okay. So 3 people from Cienzano will be there, a technician, the main scientist, and then also supervisor who will look at all the activities.
So in terms of partnership, the partners are good. Paradisia, they have their own vet. They are quite active and so on. So they demonstrate to be very active. So in terms of cost and timing, so you say at least 6 months, okay? Well, at least.
let's say, yeah, 6 months to
a year,
gather the first results.
To be renewed potentially, okay. And the cost?
The cost is very little because, I mean, we already have vaccine stocks. The vaccine is already there. We have stocks in France. They will be shipped hopefully even this week. And then the budget will mostly be serological test, a bit of PCR test for H5, just in case. And Scienzano is also happy to contribute to the lab cost. They will run the lab test. So we still have to discuss with Scienzano on who covers what, but it will not be beyond 10 kilo euros.
Okay. So we can enlarge if we need to do more and so on, or repeat. And so in terms of impact, what do we expect from?
So we want to go for this kind of pilot trial, and after this, we already agreed with the zoo and Scienzano that there is going to be a scientific publication, and the zoo made it clear that they want this trial to also be useful to other zoos around the world. So there will be good visibility of this trial. And for us, it's also a mean to check feasibility and also check the efficacy of the vaccine. Although we are quite limited in testing the efficacy because we can't run any challenge trial on these birds, but they will be released on the park.
Okay. I got a bad connection. Je sais pas qui. Yes,
no, it's okay.
Good.
I mean,
It's okay.
I don't know.
On my side.
On my side, it's okay.
No,
I'm talking.
So this is in terms of impact, we are going to learn from this. Okay, we are going to share, and we can potentially maybe the first step to consider for other use, other wild bird species kept in zoos or.
Yeah, and even beyond wild birds, it could also be mammals, because the list of mammals that have been shown that have been found dead and infected with H5 is already quite long, actually.
Okay. In terms of risk, if we have to also could take into consideration.
Okay, so yeah, we think it's a very safe vaccine. The risk is low, but we've taken 3 steps to be on the safe side. With the different groups. Then there's a risk during manipulation for vaccination. I mean, this is obvious. The lack of efficacy is also a risk, and we can't really measure that. And duration of immunity. This vaccine technology probably provides a short duration of immunity. We still need to measure it also in domestic poultry. So we're suggesting a boost every 6 months, and anyway, the zoo can't do it more often. So we just hope that the duration of immunity will be sufficient. Yeah, so this is the list of risk. I mean, the zoo could also. No, I don't see any more risks.
Okay. So just as a compliment, I've sent a letter of commitment. Okay, only one way to Scienzano and Peri Deisa, just to say that Ceva WRF Research Fund anyhow is supporting. Alors, asking Ceva to put vaccine doses available, and also taking supporting the laboratory costs or any operational costs around the protocol implementation. Well, it has been accepted and so on. So now we ask you to have any comments on this, general comments, or taking the different criteria, and we keep you informed. Bon, merci.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
Merci.
Pierre-Marie. Bye-bye. Talk to you soon.